Hello and happy day. I think it's Friday. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And not just because I don't have a job or a child to get off to school. It just, there is so much going on that really the day of the week doesn't matter. It's just a day. It's another construct. There's so many of those. We just decided things had to be. And that's how they're going to be. I don't know. For the longest time, I didn't vote because I didn't understand it, and I was always led to believe that I wasn't smart enough to understand it. So I just went with that because it's pretty complicated. And listening to other people and the outcomes and watching the patterns, right? I just eventually started saying it doesn't matter because they all lie. They all make these big promises, but when it comes down to it, there's no follow through. So it doesn't matter who you vote for. So why bother putting out the time and energy for that? And then, JT, for so many reasons, stood with the right people, did the right things, beautiful to look at, blah, 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 all that. Very charismatic. And I thought, well, if I'm going to vote, that's who I'm going to vote for. So I did. Now it's a few years later, and I'm back to why fucking vote? What's the point? I've learned about strategic voting. Kinda. Makes me wonder if that's why some people, say don't talk about religion, don't talk about politics. Because they've been doing that, strategic voting. And they don't want to have to admit to people that they voted for the asshat that is letting children die in Canadian hospital hallways. Or the one that is selling off the Greenbelt. Also putting children's lives at risk. Every time I turned around, I was trying to explain to somebody yesterday, and I couldn't come up with one good province. One good person to vote for. Knowing now and who's doing the things. Mind you, I guess the quiet provinces, I'm not hearing about them. The murderer, serial killer, who killed those Indigenous women. And the people in power said that they weren't worth looking for in the local dump. And then the land defenders that got up at the COP 20 whatever meeting thing and interrupted JT. Yes. God. That lady, foster mom in Uganda, Mackenzie Spencer. Mackenzie Elizabeth Spencer on the court records in Uganda for child abuse. Horrible things she did to that little boy. And it turns out, the more I'm hearing about it, that it's kind of normal. For people from other countries to do humanitarian efforts and go to these other countries. Do the good thing and, put themselves out there on social media and look at what I'm doing. I'm fostering 3 young children. But you don't ever see until somebody steps out of line, loses a job, but comes forward with some truth about what that woman did to that little boy. Because they're used to it. They do that kind of thing. And even when they get caught, they pay the couple $100 US for their bail, and then they skip. They go back to the US. And they're free and clear. And I think the reason, the US wouldn't send them back, that extradition thing, some people do it, some people don't, some countries, do it, some don't. I think it's because it's prevalent in the US. Not just the whole adoption, fostering, selling children pipeline that they have there, but the racist side of it. That if there's any melanin in the child's skin, it doesn't matter what you do to them. Because they're not real humans, right? They don't count. My wad of hair for today. Well, the first one. It looks worse when it's all stretched out over the brush. Anyway. My hair looks grim, but it's because, I'm washing it in the sink. Because I don't have running hot water at the moment. Haven't for a while. But I was able to stop the leak that is slowly melting away my floor. So there's that. Concessions, right? Everybody's got to make concessions, you'd think. Except for if you're, in government and you can do whatever you want. Or I guess I was just talking about foster parents. That's not elected officials, but they are. At least this prime example was white. I'm used to getting away with whatever they want. Because they're white. I never really understood. I'm not sure I really understand now. I don't understand how. Well, no, I do. That's just it. I can kind of wrap my head around it. I haven't got all the right words, but it's like religion, indoctrinated into a way of thinking. And then there's that, what is that? Cognitive dissonance. You're presented other information. I really want to say factual information, facts over feelings, right? And it's really difficult to see past that. people get outside of their own comfort bubble because it's there for generations. It is what it is, right? I hate that saying. Pretty much, kind of for the same reason, because then you don't have to think about it. You don't have to, there's, meh. It's like an act of nature. Except for really, usually not so much. That'd be a hurricane or earthquake or, okay, all those things we've done. We suck. We have so much potential. Like, horrors every day. I see horrors every day from so many different directions. But I also see beauty and grace and souls that shine in the darkness. And they need to be treasured, except for they're not. It's all about greed. That's what it comes down to. Having stuff. Must have the stuff. Oh yeah. I definitely gotta maybe double rinse. So that does not feel good. I'll change up. I don't know. Conditioner didn't touch my head. It feels yucky. And I just did it yesterday. Well, you know, kettle's on. I guess I could do it again today. Anyway. Yeah. I know I haven't put a video on here in a while. My phone tells me I'm out of space, but when I come in here now to record a video, it doesn't tell me I've got a limit at all. There's still more hair. Yeah, you can see that. Just keeps coming out every time I touch it. Stress. Look how thin that is. All these little itty bitty babies. I have a stressed out time. I lose a shit ton of hair. Look, it's all through the hair, and then it starts to grow in, and things get to me again, right? You know, just being overly sensitive. Just overly emotional. Should get a therapist. Go back on meds. I'll feel great. It won't matter. Right? It's perfect. Anyway. Almost done my second coffee. I've got to go finish bread. And, which means clearing out that corner where the oven is. The oven. Right? It's an easy bake oven for adults. Harmony, happiness, health, and hope. From my home to yours. Find some joy, people. Take every minute that you can get.